Spyware in our solar panels? Well, that's what a brand new investigation is finding. According to Reuters, engineers have discovered rogue equipment that's embedded inside Chinese manufactured parts across American solar farms. Kill switches that may allow Beijing to turn off grids across the U.S. and Europe may be embedded into these things. These components could evade firewalls or damage energy infrastructure. National security experts say this could cause cyber attacks or even blackouts. Charles, if this isn't evidence of the need for, as our Treasury Secretary says, not complete decoupling from China, but strategic decoupling from China. That's what this administration wants to do, and this is proof that it's necessary.
It's just nuts. I mean, this should surprise no one. I mean, this is like so crazy. And why do we do it? To save a few pennies? I mean, just like we put our lives at risk to save a few pennies that some corporation's going to make. You know, it just doesn't make sense at all. It's nuts. And this kind of story's got to get into the heart of America. We have to. Most people saw a lot of it, though, right, during COVID. And things that we created in this country, we spend billions of dollars to create a particular drug, but we let China make it because they get the component, the compounds cheaper. All that stuff we discovered, like, that might be dumb. It's just like, it's not even, it's dumb. Yeah. Just let's not, why fight it? It's just, it just doesn't make sense that we did it in the first place. I'm not surprised. I just really wish more people would consider that.
And Jackie, it's inescapable with the Chinese communist mentality. It's not the Chinese people, again, it's the CCP. That's the way they do business. When you go there, you always have a feeling. I've never been to China, but I've been to communist countries like Cuba and Nicaragua, et cetera. You know that you're always being watched. That's just the way they do business.
Well, when I lived there, I was a student, so I knew it was happening, but I wasn't worried about me. I talk to people now who are important people who go there who say, your hotel room is bugged, your phone is bugged, you can't have a conversation without anybody, without them knowing about it. And if we believe in the Chinese spy balloon story, which turned out to be true, if we believe that TikTok is harvesting our data through our phones and could potentially use that data one day to do something malicious, it's not difficult to believe that the solar panels that came from China might have these components in them. I think this shines a light on how dangerous it is to do some sorts of business with them and sort of just be oblivious to what they're doing. If they all of a sudden have components embedded in these technologies that could then shut down our grid. I mean, that's what we've been worried about for years and years, cyber attack of that kind. So, America needs to wake up. I mean, we are. I think the people woke up, and that's why they elected President Trump. And I don't think that he's asleep at the wheel when it comes to threats like this.
Not at all.
And so, we're on the right track.
And Cheryl, of course, there's also the threat of theft, which we know exists all over the place, whether you go there or whether you're here. And the whole DeepSeek, the more you hear about DeepSeek, the more you feel that there
wasn't $5 million bucks on the back of a napkin.
Right. $5 million doesn't get you $1 billion worth of AI chips, does it?
Well, and that was the concern. Obviously that's why in the previous administration they did the embargo when it came to the chips going to China, and I understand that, and that's why there's still concerns, which are fair concerns, that these chip deals we've just cut in the Middle East, you still may have the ability of China to try and steal them. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that's a fair concern. But going back to the issue of like you said, IP theft, look, I don't think that they're going to stop. By the way, they're not going to stop, I don't think, sending the components for fentanyl into Mexico. I don't think they have any interest in that. I think it's a moneymaker for the Chinese. Number two, I think they're going to try and find other ways. We actually learned this week that they have been really trying to infiltrate American universities, at Stanford, Harvard. The Chinese have been giving money to our U.S. universities for these research grants. Why are they doing that? Because they want access to people. Now we're finding out, in particular, at Stanford specifically, because the student-run paper there did a big expose that showed that they were actually going in and recruiting students that were doing sensitive research at Stanford, and then these Chinese students, turns out they're fake students, were befriending these researchers at Stanford, trying to steal, to your point, the research they were working on.
But I'm wondering about fentanyl. This administration is taking it very seriously. I don't think the last one did as much as this one. Got 90 days, actually 90 days a week ago, till they revisit the calm down, the new way of dealing with China in terms of trade. If they don't get serious about some of the fentanyl things that this administration is deadly serious about, I think they may go back up to 145%.
I think you're right. I think fentanyl's been a big issue for this administration.
They can't get away with it anymore.
The only good news is we did get a report this week that overdose deaths are down to some of the lowest that we've seen since COVID, I believe. So finally, you're starting to maybe see a pullback on, I don't know if it was overdose from fentanyl or anything else, but at least some of the overdose have started to slow. You guys, it's so funny. When we think about China, Charles, you mentioned COVID. This is like the exact anecdote of what represents China to me. So during COVID, when everyone hoarded toilet paper and there was no toilet paper to be found, I had to go on Amazon and order this cheap, it was like a roll this big with like 3 paper slabs on it. And they advertised it as like real full-size Charmin toilet paper, right? Coming fresh off the boat from China. And I'm like, well, there's no toilet paper. So I hit buy. It literally arrived like this. And I'm like, this is such a freaking scam. Yeah. It's a cheap, knockoff, slimmed down version. And that was the moment, Jackie, you said, when did people wake up? That was my moment. I'm like, okay, I'm awake. Like, this is bad. I'm not buying toilet paper from China anymore. But when you think about coming back to solar panels, my issue is I'm not sure anyone on the extreme left, where a viewer wrote into us earlier this week and said, you will never understand them because they lack critical thinking skills. No one, when they're approving solar panels, cheap knockoff stuff from China, had a critical thought of, what if there is a little hack? Then what? What if, to save a few bucks, we do that instead of do U.S. and ensure better quality production? Yeah. No one thought through the ramifications. That's my issue.
Yeah, and by the way, Huawei, we just heard a couple of days ago, the Commerce Department is warning that Huawei has some more stuff embedded in it than we thought. That stuff specifically to steal a lot of our AI stuff. So it's really. Can
I just say one thing?
Sure.
And Taylor, what's even scarier than that is that if they did have the thought and they just ignored it, because when you think about what the left is really trying to achieve here, if you believe that they want this kind of globalist economy where nobody is a superpower, even us, then they're actually actively doing something to advance that agenda that is not in the interest of the American.
By the way, you're interfering with a plug for yourself.
Oh, sorry. sorry.
Be sure